mighty nation of the peoples of the earth. May we live and die in service to humanity. On this day, let's raise our banner as we follow truth and love. In this land forever blessed by God, a home for all.
God bless Nigeria, my home, sweet home. God bless Nigeria, my home, sweet home.
We are one great mighty nation of the peoples of the earth. May we live and die in service to humanity. On this day, let's raise our banner as we follow truth and love. In this land forever blessed by God, a home for all.
God bless Nigeria, my home, sweet home. 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 God bless Nigeria, my home, sweet home.
Yes, we're back here. Thank you for staying there this morning. It's the bumper breakfast and beautiful, beautiful Thursday morning. So many things did happen this morning to stop you from seeing us. But of course, in the spirit of the moment where we were in recovery mode in Nigeria, let's just say that we are also in recovery mode, and we definitely would do what we have to do to make sure we're here with you Mondays to Fridays. My name is Toby Siljo. You heard somebody mention my name just before you heard my voice. I have so many people in the studio this morning, so I want to especially appreciate the young woman I had to call to come support us this morning. Amaka, good morning, Amaka, and good morning, viewers. Of course, Tessie is always here with me every Thursday, but today she's not looking okay. I think she has recovered from the redness. I think she's recovered a bit from the redness. She just has this side red, maybe just underneath her eyes red, because the sun actually dealt her some good blows yesterday. I don't pity them. I'm black, proudly.
Oh, black.
And black don't crack.
Black don't crack.
Black don't crack.
So we crack.
Oh yeah, you do.
Reason you said we are back from where? You came on.
I don't know where people came out from. I don't know, but wherever it is, they usually just go red and with a little bit of. Oh, we tan when the sun comes. We tan. We sweat it out and we tan. Okay, Tessie, good morning. How are you doing?
Let me see. I'm fine. Good morning.
And I think I like the fact that you're wearing earrings this morning. You're having a little bit of makeup on, so I totally agree with the person who said, are you wearing makeup? So, but that's a private conversation.
I'm not actually feeling myself this morning. I don't really like my face. I don't know. I'm not comfortable.
Really?
Yeah.
You see this young woman, just leave her in her lane. She's in a lane. So let us stay in that lane. That lane is a special one. Mr. Fatuka is on the table with us this morning. It's a breakfast, and it's just that on this breakfast table we do a lot of talking and no eating. So Mr. Fatuka, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing fine. I'm very hopeful that in spite of all the challenges, Nigeria is going to come out of the ashes. We are right now in the ashes.
In the ashes.
And we are going to come out. I believe that. I know we have what it takes to get there. What makes that narrow is the fact that we have not allowed, the right thinking and the right rethinking and the right unthinking that will get us there. But we'll get there.
All right, let me quickly take a look at the Punch newspaper this morning. 2021 proposed 6 trillion loans. PDP APC clash over federal government's fresh plans. Man demands caution. Buhari has insatiable appetite for loans. Will soon borrow from Togo, says the PDP. Opposition party disturbed with succeeding where it failed, says the APC. Ekiti WASC results not withheld over debt but computation. Government is talking shorties remanded as suspect in 12.2 million naira Ford jump spill. Running 3 varsities draining our resources. Akere Dolu is talking. Yes, you do have 3 varsities. Ondo State is not for election, so manage, please. INEC tackling 1,700 suits over 2019 elections. Yakubu is talking there. Grieving mother cries for justice as police shoot journalist dead.
Oh, that's that.
Page 4 and 5 of the Punch newspaper tells us more how to see exactly where the story is from when I recover from the shock. Wow. Damaged facilities. Southwest ministers ask the federal government to assist Lagos. And of course, the indicted SARS officials shall be prosecuted, says the AGF. Federal government has to talks deadlocked again. Parties clash on 30 billion allowance. Federal government signs 105 billion naira AFAM power sale agreement today. And the interesting one for me this morning, Trump considers legal battle as Biden leads in U.S. presidential election. Latest results, Biden 253, Trump 213, candidate with 270 electoral votes wins. And president alleges mail ballots having devastating effect on poll results. When the count is finished, we'll believe who will be the winners. Biden is talking there. A quick one, take a look at The Guardian. Banner headline of The Guardian talks about ASU and the federal government talks suffer a setback. ASASU, NASU, SANU reject ASU's UTAS, unveil their own payment platform. I've always said it, you accept one, you have to accept others. And, okay, let me just leave my comment to myself this morning. Mr. Fatuka is here for that. IBPRS has beneficiaries in and outside government. It should be investigated. NAF gets more punches over social media and SARS. Nothing Group accuses leaders of confronting minor issues, not subverting unity, says Clark Adibanjo Nwodo. Others stop painting NSAS protesters in dark colors. PGP says it rejects moves to stifle the social media. Reps disagree over INEC budget as EFCC proposes 29 billion naira for 2021. Army kills 75 terrorists, loses 4 soldiers in 6 weeks. Don't leave public space for criminals, IGP tells the officers as Biden inches closer to U.S. presidency. All right, those are stories on the front page of the Guardian newspaper. Interesting ones. What do you have in The Nation?
The Nation, Biden close to victory. Democratic candidate needs 6 more electoral votes to triumph. Trump in courts to challenge Wisconsin, Michigan result. And Biden says, when the count is finished, we believe we will be the winners. Now every vote must be counted. No one's going to take our democracy away from us. Not now, not ever. Hashtag answers attack Southwest ministers see compensation for victims. Varsity to remain short as government ASU talks collapse. And what are the issues? 110 billion naira revitalization fund, 30 billion naira and allowance, IPPRS payment platform, and INEC plans e-voting take off with Anambra poll. UI Senate condemns unions. Review of public offices pay begins. RNFAC takes action. Mass meeting initiative to end estimated billing, says Buhari. FEC okays 87 billion naira for Ogbomosho and Oyo Road. Others, Sanwo-Olu signs executive order to rebuild Lagos. That's from the Nation newspaper. Now to Nigerian Tribune. Lekki, Southwest ministers want role of military probed. ICC begins probe into shooting of NSAS protesters in Nigeria. Sanwo-Olu signs executive order on Lagos rebuilding plan. Human Rights Commission panel receives 150 petitions. Protect lives, property of Muslims in Southeast, South-South, NSCRA tells IGP DSS. 3 killed as cultists hold Lagos community hostage. Government using hunger as weapon to break our ranks. ASU. US Senate knocks NASU, SSANU over protest disrespect of council chairman. Asks council to continue VC's appointment process. Mysterious deaths rise to 30 in Delta communities. FEC approves 84 billion naira for FCT or your Ogbomosho Road. INEC may kick off e-voting with Anambra election next year, chairman. And Trump versus Biden, still too close to call. U.S. Senate gets forced Nigerian American congressman. Nigerian wins U.S. State Assembly race. Nigeria must restructure before next elections. Southern Middle Belt leaders insist. North can't dictate to us anymore, they say. We are going our separate ways. Middle Belt Forum tells Call Not. You didn't address problems of the North. Northern group-style governance.
Interesting stories on the front page of the papers, but of course, that's why we have Mr. Fatuke here. And I'd like to start with a statement that was made in the US yesterday. It's not very close for me. First of all, a couple of days ago, I saw some Nigerians parading and campaigning for President Donald Trump in Nigeria. There was a dance.
Yeah.
And when that video made the round on social media, people were asking questions like, to what benefit?
I don't understand. I feel like I showed that back at that video. Yes.
To what benefit? I had to ask the question because this happened not even in the city. So I had to ask the question, whoever it is that paid for this campaign to be done must have something to gain. Unfortunately, the people doing the job do not have much, maybe 1,500 naira or something. But let's leave that aside. President Donald Trump made a statement yesterday that for me is very important. He said he would go to the Supreme Court that they stop the counting of the votes. And then, because as far as it's concerned, they've won the election already. And I see that we copy a lot of things from America, from our capitalism to a kind of democracy and all of that. Do you think it's a good example, especially looking at the kind of relationship? I mean, we had people during the last election who kept writing the United States and calling on the United States to come in and, come in and do something about the election results. But with this kind of example being set, are we still supposed to look forward or look up to a country like the U.S.?
Well, Tomisi, thank you. And once again, I like to say, just looking at all the newspapers is one tale of woe. Spending, we are not able to spend enough, and then the US that we all used to look up to
the free
as a
world
bastion of democracy over 200 years. Suddenly, we started seeing a DNA that you normally want to see in a place like Mozambique, Cote d'Ivoire. Alexander Ouattara just won an election for third time amidst
all of the drama.
Of course, Big Brother Nigeria.
It looks like a Belarus's election.
I tell you, from trying to influence at the last minute, getting Amy Bennett into the Senate with such rush, which Democrats kicked against, but our Donald Trump will not want to hear any of it. Of course, Donald Trump, being a strategist, knew awfully well that today is the tomorrow we are thinking about yesterday. So he saw today and he said he was going to be ready with it. You asked the question directly. Is it an example that the world should follow? I would rather say for the very first time in the history of the US elections, we got to learn and know that maybe they are white supremacists, you can call them, maybe the US, they are also human, and that the principle of osmosis, higher concentration to lower concentration, and when the higher concentration takes over, I think the US has learned a lot from Nigeria. The Nigerian elections.
Rather than the other way.
And the fact that, well, everything must then go back to the courts. For one, we had Biden coming on as winning the largest votes, even in swing states.
In swing states, especially in swing states, yes.
So far. And it's taken back a couple of
eras where Trump used to won in 2015.
The point of learning to me, to Nigerians, is the fact that nothing is impossible. Even if you felt that your own type of person, your perception of this type of person should not come on, that person might win an election because the whole world is divided, the whole populace is divided. I am aware, I made mention of it, that some Nigerians were carrying placard and you were wondering if they were given 1,000 or 2,000 or whatever.
I'm sure it's making up to 500 naira.
Maybe,
to what benefit?
Maybe not. I would say maybe and maybe not.
In the village behind you.
Oh,
Not in the city.
Not in the
Not
city.
in the city center. If only you could get a phone call in, I'm saying substantial portion of our population believe Trump should come on.
Yes.
Yeah.
But for all intents and purposes, Trump got it right virtually until coronavirus came.
Wow.
And from what we are seeing, if coronavirus had not dealt him in, he was doing
Perfectly.
fantastically well in quite a number of other areas. And it shows the skin, skin, the division, the gulf between blacks, Latinos, and the white supremacists. Now, in Nigeria, I'm also aware, should Biden win, should the Democrats come
Back.
life will not be the same again. We had the itinerary, the sonorous and the not so sonorous sounds about same-sex marriage and what have you, which the conservatives are not really so happy about. And putting my ears
with the Democrats anyway.
Yes, so putting my ears to the ground, I knew quite a lot of people say, we want Trump. He says what he's going to do, and he delivers. If we could have a Trump in President Muhammadu Buhari, perhaps, and perhaps, We know the direction that we are going. Unlike the situations where we really don't know, please pardon me, we really don't know who is in charge administratively. At one fell swoop, we hear that yes, we are for change. We believe we are listening to the NSAS thing. At the other page, some of the protesters are alleged protesters. Modupe, for instance, prevented from traveling. Did that come straight from the president or some
overzealous people just wanted
so
to?
That's what I mean, that is really not structured. If you compare that to the Obasanjo presidency, maybe not necessarily the best that you can get, but General Obasanjo, General retired, was hands-on. So things were really not going.
Dealt with it immediately.
To my American fellow citizens, I sympathize with you. This is not your finest hour. This is not your finest hour in the world. And the likes of Belarus, the likes of little ants are pointing to America. You dare not say that you are going to be pontificating to us.
Yes.
This is the same America that says, well, it's our national interest. And so, an Okonjo Iweala
would not be good for them.
Even if the whole world is
swinging that they would refuse.
I think
so. One of the reasons why I actually came up with that question is because one of the biggest issues, or one of the biggest things going well for the Democrats right now, is the fact that they've discovered that there is a marginalization of the other tribes in America. So like the blacks, the Latinos, so they focused more, on the minority tribes. And Nigeria is a multi-tribal, multi-ethnic society. What they are going through is somewhat similar to what we've gone through in the past and what we're likely to go through come 2023 if we do not give room, in my opinion, to recognizing the differences between us, but still understanding that we as a people are one at the center, but allow everybody to have some measure of be able to communicate with whatever it is that your policies must come down to home. It must relate to me as well as it must relate to you, irrespective of your tribe, your language, and where you come from.
And you are manifestly seen to be fair. Yes, the whites, by the time you put all those votes together, they come quite a large chunk.
Yes.
And he has tried to
please them more.
Defer to that and then
more.
Keep a close eye
on the other ones.
When remember George Floyd and
yes,
so many things happening, and then we did say if the blacks are not doing well enough, we know the blacks have their issues. Back home, in comparison, we have complaints to no ends that perceptively we see situation allegedly Fulani herdsmen, or people just talk about all these things, and we got people at the top not making the kind of I won't call it noise, intervention that we need. The NSAS came, it was well received. 5 for 5 agenda was well received. Suddenly, since things seems to be a bit at a toll, my expectation is that this government should begin to look at the salient points of what these youths and youngsters are saying for the benefit of the overall, for the legacy of the Buhari administration. Clearly, the Buhari administration did not start the problem. But he is the gate man now that can, with a magic wand of listening and leading by example, of trying to grow the economy by making sure that cost of governance is properly put down, of ensuring that all the facts that surrounds government bureaucracy, whether at the National Assembly, whether at the state level, whether at the seat of presidency itself, is done and cut away with decisively, then 2023 might be a big challenge and a big problem. And that is where Trump, and this is what I'm hearing, that's where Trump comes to it. No matter whose horse is going to be God, it is America, America first. I want somebody to be able to say it's going to be Nigeria, Nigeria first, and not our different cleavages.
Maybe it may be in the next generation. I don't know about that. But Mr. Falaka, I want to ask this question. Don't you think it's too early for Trump to be in courts to challenge Wisconsin and Michigan?
I would not say it's too early.
Okay.
Because he made it clear even before
That he wasn't going to
when
take defeat.
he said he was not going to accept defeat.
Accept the fate. So,
And you know, a day before the election, maybe about two days before the election, depending on what geography you are looking at, we saw the elitist guards, National Guards, came out on the street. Well, unlike what we have in Nigeria, they were not shooting, and they were thinking of how to protect. And he did body language. You know, we speak about body language in Nigeria also. Yeah. Body language is now saying, we are not going to allow email voting, and he had gone to court, the lower courts, and
Of course.
number of states have ruled against him. He saw that was going to be an issue. He was going to now rush.
They always had mail-in voting, so I don't get why this one
Rush
is
to
big
this
deal. Supreme Court,
to the Supreme Court.
which he just appointed the last person to.
Point is clear. He said he was going to do what we are seeing being done. Pollsters and analysts have predicted the exact thing that he's doing today. Some weeks, close to months ago, that is exactly what he's going to do. He's going to declare himself, which he said yesterday, and that while those votes were going to count, you know you're Trump. That's it, I know you're an actress. You know, I will not It's not to do that.
I need to take a break, Mr. Matuke, because we have Spitola in the studio. But we're going to be back with Mr. Matuke right after Spitola. And the conversation this morning will continue.
We need to continue that conversation.
Because,
I'm enjoying it.
Whether or not we accept it, we seem to look forward. We seem to look up to Nigeria a lot, or to America a lot. And these are issues that would likely shape our own democracy and our own next elections if we're not very careful. But we'll be back with Smitola after this break.
Everything we do in life has to do with what we intend to become. There are challenges and there are challenges. Join me every Thursday 9 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. on My Success Story, where we share the life experience of distinguished and notable personalities who went through thick and thin before achieving their success. For participation, sponsorship and advert placement, please contact the number shown on the screen. My Success Story, where entrepreneurs are celebrated.
Welcome back to the Bumper Breakfast. This morning, Smitola joins us once again, like every other Thursday, and we are definitely talking career. We're talking logistics and all of the businesses that they offer. But you get to communicate with us on the show this morning. This is the question and answer that you remember. That once in a month, we usually just have a conversation with him where you, the viewers, get to ask your own questions. So, Mr. I usually call it possible, but let's go back to normal this morning. Mr. Taiwo, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Good morning, ma'am.
How has Nigeria been
morning.
treating you anyway?
Well, Nigeria treats us fine. Yes.
And the road and the traffic has been treating you fine.
For that one, I don't know. I don't know what to say.
You don't know what
So we
to
all
say.
feel the weight.
Oh,
You leave
no.
your house or you leave your office very early or house very early, you get back late. So if you want to go to anywhere now,
You have
at
an
least
appointment like 10 a.m. You leave by 4 a.m.
4 a.m.
in the morning.
Yeah.